excited to fight. I'm excited to see the rest of the team. I'm excited to see the vendors that they have this year. But right now, I'm most excited about making weight. Right now, it's kind of a race to the scale, so I can eat and rehydrate. Honestly, calories are like the only thing on my mind right now.
Start the day off right. What's up, guys?
How are you?
How you doing?
That's why I'm not gonna be eating a lot.
You got a towel? That towel.
Yeah. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go. Fun week, man. Fun week. Look at this crew we got. Some of you guys went to the meeting yesterday. Some didn't. We just want to talk about a couple things. Maz, you got the notes from that real quick?
Yeah.
They stop the fight for a second. They give a standing 8 count. Does not mean that you win that round 10-8. If you stop somebody, you got to go in and finish them. Make that a 10-8 round. Don't leave it to the judges.
Elbows at any angle are allowed no matter what. Even if your opponent turns their back, it ends over. You could still crack them. So they basically said that's on them if they turn around. Even if they bend down, staying there in the clincher, you can still, even from up top here.
Yeah.
And 12-6.
Well,
Everything is allowed.
Just to the back of the head.
Every elbow.
This isn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna touch spar. We're gonna nah, dude. You're here to hurt someone. All right, that's the fun part about a fight. You can't hurt someone in sparring. You guys like suffered. You guys didn't eat. You guys like went through all this. You guys sacrificed so much. Make them fucking suffer.
And let's get this. Let's win round 1 and not wait until round 2 to catch up. Get the point in round 1 so you can work on a different game plan or a different strategy in round 2 as opposed to shit. I'm down the round. And just historically, we got to catch up by round 2 and 3. Let's be cool by round 2.
Some of the things we worked in fighter training is being able to pick when we go 100, but keeping good pressure. Like, we're not going 50 like sparring. We're going a good 70, 80, but like, you don't want to go out there throwing 100 because your gas tank ain't built like that. Nobody's is. All right, and we want to make sure that we're not gassing ourselves out with unintelligent options. When we see them hurt, don't muff your punches. Don't rush in too hard. Keep them there. That's stuff we practice. Keep them there. Find that shot. Keep hurting them. If you hurt them once, you're going to hurt them again, right? You don't have to put everything into that next shot and gas yourself out. You're good. You're better than them. Make sure you remember that. Make sure you, like, really center yourself on that.
You go in there, you're a competitor. You show them your highest level of competition mentality and like application of what you know, and that's basically respect to them. You have to gift them with defeat. So don't go in there and being like, oh, I could have kicked them in the face, but I didn't want to come out bad. I didn't want it to escalate higher. It's like, okay, so then now what? Like, if you lost, you gotta keep thinking about, oh, I could have, if I would have just did this. Do everything you know how to do, and be as sharp as you know you can be. You, like Alex said, you put all that work in. Ain't no point in putting all that work in, traveling, doing all this shit, if you're gonna have reserves about how you fight.
On 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team!
About 25. Make sure you live
good fight, you know. He did great. Everything was on play. It was a tough opponent, you know. Those elbows. Elbows win fights.
One fight in. We have about 8 more today, and it's just great to start off with this win. Good morale for the team, and let's just keep winning. Let's get these belts.
Another day. Let's go. Another day in the office.
We're starting out the strongest we ever started, you know?
How you guys get in here?
It was unlocked.
First round was like
When I'm getting ready to fight, I am voiding myself of any type of compassion that I can have for a person. I have a huge amount of compassion and consideration and empathy and sympathy for everybody, but for this sport, I need to be kind of clear of that. Because if I'm not, then I'm gonna lose out or I'm gonna miss out, and that person could bring harm to me. So I need to be on a razor's edge.
This is my first B-class fight, first fight with elbows. I wouldn't say he's the hardest guy I've ever had to fight, but that was like the most I had to dig deep. I was tired for sure. You know, he had definitely zapped my tank and he was able to land the better shots, and that's really what won him the fight, you know. You get hit with that initial feeling like, wish I could pull through with a win, you know? Like you spend all this time imagining, you know, what the win is gonna feel like, what it's gonna be like when you bring the belt home. You envision all these things. It's important not to get caught up in the result, and, you know, I'm gonna look at everything I did and I'm gonna analyze that, and then after that, just back to work, getting better. That's all I can do.
Was it?
Oh, let's make some noise, Alex. First fight of the day. Let's go!
I was feeling pretty good before the TBAs fight. I had already been in like 2 camps prior to it, so it was just nothing really new. Just continuously doing my training over and over again. That fight wasn't as technical as I expected it to be. It was definitely a little bit more like brawly, and I like that a lot. Really close fight, and it was honestly gnarly. Immediately after, I was a little bummed because in the fight, like prior to the camp, I had messed up my hand, so I was a little worried about that, you know. And during that fight, I threw a cross and it just ended up like cracking my hand even more, so I really couldn't throw it rounds 2 and 3. But you know, it's just a fight game, you know, you really shouldn't just leave it up to the judges. I felt pretty solid about my performance afterwards, you know. I didn't feel disappointed. I went in there and I left everything that I can in that ring, and that's my biggest thing. Like, I never want to leave a fight kind of thinking like, oh, I should have did this, or oh, I should have did that. You know, I left that ring like, okay, cool. I didn't have my right hand, but I did everything that I can outside of that to make up for it. So I was still pretty proud.
300 now fighting on round 2.
It's gonna be a crazy day. You know, it's gonna be fun. Either way, whatever happens, win, lose or draw, it's gonna be fun.
I feel good. The team feels good. Just got to keep going and bring these belts home.
Let's go.
Alright, get that. Go get your gear.
Fighting out of the blue corner,
By the championship, I was feeling relatively good about my chances going into it. During the fight, I actually didn't have too hard of a time. Stylistically, I don't think I was a very good matchup for my opponent. I was much longer, I had much better clinch than him. I assume he had gone far brawling and scrapping. He was a tough guy, but I wasn't going to do that. So ultimately, championship fight ended up being a lot easier than honestly all the other fights I had in the tournament. And with that being the case, I got to go out there and really have fun with it, threw some shots and threw some stuff that I usually don't throw, and had some relative success with it. So it ended up being probably the most fun fight that I had in the entirety of the competition.
Going into the championship fight, I was nervous, but I was also very excited. I was thrilled to have made it this far, but I also really wanted to go all the way and get that belt. After the fight, knowing that I had won, I remember looking to my coaches at ringside and then out at my teammates in the audience and just feeling so grateful. We had all trained so hard together. We had pushed each other, we had supported each other, and I was so excited to share this moment with them and also looked forward to celebrating with them.
Fue una experiencia bastante bonita porque fue mi primera pelea. Estuve bastante nervioso los primeros días, pero al último día simplemente me concentré para mi pelea y no pensé nada más que mi pelea. quiero dar gracias a mi entrenador Nick, a mi papá, que estuvieron ahí apoyándome, y a Alex también. Y estuvo bastante divertido. Espero volver a pelear otra vez en TBAs y ganar otro cinturón.
Lock it up. Yes, nice, good.
Era muy bien y me la pasé muy divertido porque todos mis coaches me estaban ayudando y me estaban diciendo qué hacer. Estoy intentando seguir entrenando porque quiero pelear en el TBAs otra vez el siguiente año.
Was I nervous? Yes, very nervous, but I am standing outside of the ring having to decide, am I gonna let the nerves get the best of me or am I gonna use them? After the first 2 rounds, I really felt like I was losing, and I got this thing in my head where I was thinking, man, this sucks. And somewhere during the second round, I had this total shift. I didn't want to lose knowing that some part of me had kind of given up. So I pushed through it. I pushed through this doubt. And when the bell rang at the end and I turned around and I saw everyone's reaction, I thought, oh my God, did I do it? I felt really proud of myself for doing something I never thought I would even attempt. And I felt really grateful for my team, for all these people that supported me and pushed me and made me think that I could do it.
I felt great physically, mentally. I was just at a place like I really wanted the belt this time around. This was my 3rd time doing TBAs, and I hadn't won a belt previously. I came up short. And so, I was really determined to kind of like show what I needed to show and like beat whoever I needed to beat. I wasn't like overjoyed or nothing like that. I won the fight and by KO, and I was just happy it was done with. I felt like, because I was taking a dual role of coach and fighter, like it was just a very long weekend for me, like cornering people, warming people up, and then eventually fighting myself. And then I was the last fight of the tournament, so in some ways, like it was a relief, but in a lot of ways it was just like another victory. So I was kind of like, yay, let's go eat, you know what I'm saying? So nothing too crazy.
That's what we need. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, good, good, good. Got it. Thank you. Congrats. 2 in a row.